want a way to fight back and give themselves some self-value, this is a hugely appealing thing. Hugely appealing. Right. So you got this kind of combination of all these things that appeal to this kind of new age men's movement, which is what the QAnon shaman is focused on. It's the same thing when you look at why yoga groups made up of suburban women join QAnon. It's exactly the same. You know, self-affirmation and self-help. This becomes one of the ways to do it. And a lot of the, really interesting journalism on this is how quickly some of these, Instagram groups become conspiracy hotbeds. You start out with, downward dog and you end up with QAnon. It's really weird. But what I think it's doing is tapping into that same need. And I think what politicians have done is found out that this is what, this is what gets the blood flowing. This is what gets people to rallies. It's very convenient as a political tool. And I think that's how it got into all this. If you look at the Pennsylvania governor's race, I'm sure you guys did. It was alive and well right there. Same thing with the parts of the other congressional races I saw in this state. And I don't think it's going away anytime soon because it's just so useful for a certain part of a base, to cite that cause you could fight against. I think where it gets dangerous is the fact that a lot, 99% of this stuff is not rooted in reality. I don't know if have you guys ever followed the Comet Ping Pong Pizza event in Washington? You know what I'm talking about?
You're talking about Pizzagate? Yeah, is that related to Pizzagate?
Yeah, when the guy brought an assault rifle to a pizza parlor to look for, enslaved children in the basement. And he shows up at, these poor guys have been the subject of protests and attacks, and they don't even have a basement, right? But some genius decided that it was going to be, their pizza menu is actually a menu for children, and just kind of, used that kind of false, correlation approach that, was really it kind of devolved into a really serious police problem. That was kind of your warning sign for January 6th, because people want to act on their convictions, right? And that's what we got. The guy got arrested, but the idea didn't die. I mean, there's actually been a lot of incidents like that in the country. That's the one we know, but that's not the only one. So I think that's where you find this stuff in politics because it has a value. I guess I'll leave it at that. And what happens when people in authority embrace these ideas, they amplify them. Right. That from being students in class, you kind of take your cues from your faculty. If they say it, it must be right. I mean, they have a lot of responsibilities, but I think they treat them well. But if you just, blather on Twitter and you're a senator, people will listen to that too. And that's the problem. When they make a claim, they have to have the evidence, and they don't always worry about that second part. I think that's where we have, the politics of today are defined by that gap sometimes. All right, I'm definitely talking way too much. Please dive right in.
So Pizzagate is a bit wacky to me.
Yeah.
It's a bit crazy because it's a very strange situation. Because this gentleman, this good man who is fighting for those trapped pizza children, if he truly believes what he is doing is correct, he would be a monster not to do anything. Right. But at the same time, children trapped in the basement of a pizza place. But he genuinely believes it. So I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think of him. Is he a hero for trying to take those children away from their pasta sauce making dungeon, or well, I don't know.
It's a philosophy experiment.
It is. It's a Rorschach test. It's a pizza grease Rorschach test.
Nice. I'm gonna steal that metaphor, just so you know.
You gotta credit me. I want royalties on that now.
Never gonna happen.
All right.
Luckily, we're not recording this, so there's no evidence.
Yeah.
I know. I'm kidding. I'll give you an example like this. I had dinner with a friend of mine who teaches accounting. So this guy deals in numbers constantly. That's all he does. And he kept telling me that,